Welcome everybody. Thank you.
This is Wayne County, our committee, this area. Urban prayer, county, civilian disagree, prayers in all countries, and especially for peace in our entire universe. These things we ask in your name.
The last republic, one to read the minute party to approve. I was item going and then for some of that.
You want to add service shares to them for that, and we've added shares the
From the commission, the motion on time, we would like comments, give your address on that. That's good.
Hi, my name, my address 1300 North George Street. My telephone number is 919-221-58, which is equal to, we are looking last week. Well, that was what we about is schools and their twisting the education shows up and they did. I mean, it's counted before. Honestly, job. I'm simple to this jail. Of course, jobs. I can't just pay for a warrant and a ticket at the same time. But at 3 days, no kind people to people. Change our city is people humane, where you don't outside in a case. You're not talking. That should cause deep fear and cause or to be. And so you're done nothing. Them in because I'm for simple something effective. It took 20 guys and affiliation, and it was and you get crimes. It's totally inhumane and causing them to become violent. You're putting the violence in them. So if we're really talking about a rehabilitation system here, we really the things that are to be the news. Those guys because you can't keep people. They need to learn people turning them. So seriously, look at our teachers. All the teachers get more innovative teachers here so that we don't have the crime. So we're asking the commission to re-see and doesn't.
House 10 Maple Street, and my phone number is 919-597-87. Back up the new Engoldians were in full jail. They don't humans and in jail enough having in months any for fellow inmates. So I wanted to read a quote from a book called A Convict's Perspective. It's by T. Lamont Baker, actually from Durham, North Carolina. He's young. He was also in jail in Smithfield, but this is the book that he wrote, and I'm gonna quote from James Foreman Jr., a Yale Law School professor of law. So we face a choice. We will take individuals whom we have judged unfit for life in the free world, expose them to further violence, destabilize them psychologically, and deny them serious treatment for addiction, trauma, and mental illness? Or will we attempt to create a system of support and rehabilitation for the incarcerated? For their sake and our own, the answer seems clear. And this is very personal because right now, this is a brand new jail that they just built here in our city. And it actually is inhumane when you think about the fact that these prisoners will only have misdemeanors and have to live under the conditions that they have to live in. So we would ask and we would suggest that you take a deeper look at the jail that was just built here and come up with ways in which we could actually allow for a rehabilitation process to occur. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Donald Rouse. I live at 203 Daly Avenue. My phone number is 919-736-1488. And I'm here to speak concerning the proposed no-touch plan at the county jail. I have been an educator for 25 years, and I've dealt with young people in middle school for that time period. I've understand that students make mistakes, not just students, even young people. With this no-touch policy that is being proposed, I think is not conducive to improving our environment and our community. I think it's detrimental to the students, the individuals who will be under those plans. I did some research, and there are 6 reasons why we need to be touched on a regular basis. One, first is to feel connected. If you have no contact, no physical contact with people or loved ones, then you are not connected. You lose your association with people. You lose your feeling for people of what it really means to be an individual. That's the first thing. Second, it reduces anxiety. It makes a person feel secure, feel grounded and safe. During the incarceration period, we want individuals to develop a concern and secure and understand that it is a privilege to have the freedom and to be secure, and understand that the process is to rehabilitate them, not to turn them into an animal or to treat them inhumane. Number three, bonding. When families don't touch, they don't feel close, and relationships suffer. If an individual is incarcerated and they have no contact with their individual people or their family, they lose contact. And these are the same people that are going to have to help them get on their feet when they come out. If they lose that contact, then they're not going to be as trusting as they were before. It lowers your blood pressure, it slows the heart rate, and helps speed recovery from sickness and surgery. So contact can help reduce medical expenses. Improve outlook. People feel optimistic, positive, less critical, and suspicious. If there's no contact in these in the facilities, they'll be suspicious, and it may create even more corruption problems in the jail. And the last, it gives us a sensory input that we crave. Every individual needs to be touched. I know there's not a day that you do not go by that you do not touch someone. If your wife, your children, your family member, you touch your friends, you walk by, you put your hands on them, you touch them, because touch is essential for the human being. And we encourage you to reconsider that policy. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Anyone else?
I'm not sure if I'm on the agenda or not, so I'll just introduce myself now. I'm Barbara Stiles. I'm with Long-Term Disaster Recovery of Wayne County. And I have with me Tara Humphreys, who is the PIO, the Public Information Officer at Wayne Community College, who is also the co-chair of the organization. And I asked the treasurer, Ray Urban, who's with us today, and he represents St. Vincent de Paul of St. Mary's Church. We have come together just starting in December to help the families and individuals that have been impacted by Hurricane Matthew. It seems like just a little while ago that we were all underwater by about 17 inches of rain right here in Wayne County, and a lot of us have kind of forgotten all those people that are still suffering. And from past history, we know that sometimes people in the buyout programs will wait 4 years and able to get back into their homes. And in talking to the EMS folks, that has been confirmed. That was likely to happen again this year. So because of that, long-term recovery organizations have formed all throughout the state of North Carolina in order to help the families that have been impacted. We actually have a history from 1999 after Hurricane Floyd. Long-term recovery of Wayne County was formed in 2000 and actually served our community for 2 years. During that time, over 800 volunteers came from across the nation. We actually even had one person come from the Netherlands to help rebuild homes. And these committed volunteers were mostly from faith organizations, and they rebuilt homes. They did a lot of different things that were just required of the families to get back into their homes. But they met with long-term recovery. They came on our invitation, and they met with a group of partner organizations, which is by nature of collaboration. The usual suspects like the Red Cross, the Salvation Army, the St. Vincent de Paul of St. Mary's Church, lots of the First Baptist Church, a lot of the different faith-based organizations in our community came together, formed an unmet needs committee. So these families that have been impacted will come together and will be screened. We make sure that they've gone through FEMA, And as you know, some people don't trust the government and actually skip that stage in their recovery, which is really unfortunate because they really do have justified needs, but they don't know how to go through the process. So our organization will meet with these people. Our caseworkers, which are volunteers, will meet with the folks, look at their documentation, and make sure that a qualified construction supervisor will come in, assess the damage of their home, and see what needs remain. So once that happens, it's not too long of a process because, excuse me, this year we'll actually have the advantage of using American Red Cross Coordinated Assistant Network. So we can actually, if the families agree, we can access that information and see what stage they're already in their recovery. And then we'll look at the remaining needs, and we'll try and meet those needs. Now, each family is totally different. Some people may just need a refrigerator. Some will need mental health counseling along with their individual rebuilding needs. But whatever the needs are, we will meet with them and raise funding and go ahead and do the best we can to make sure that they are recovered within probably 2 or 3 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else? Having done, we're closing the public comment section. Let's just see here. Appointment committee, they have the appointment committee, they have some announcements.
We met this morning. We do not have any recommendations this morning for any appointments to any committees, but we are still seeking applications for the Housing Appeals Board. And we'd like to make those appointments based on the Board of Commissioner districts, although we don't have to. But we have filled districts 4 and 6, got a commitment from District 5, so we're in need of the remaining district areas. That's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Unfinished business. Mr. Tip, Hurricane Matthew has a mitigation grant program.
Yes, sir. This is with the Hurricane Matthew Mitigation Grant Program, DR 4285. This would be the county commissioners authorizing staff to submit a letter of interest to the North Carolina Emergency Management for grant funding. This is the projects that are eligible or acquisition, elevation, mitigation, reconstruction, generators, early warning systems, regional plans, stormwater management, wind retrofits, and mitigation of commercial properties in this project. We currently have 278 applications total with a total budget of $33.6 million. These properties include single-family residences, multifamily units, apartments, mobile home parks, and commercial properties. And we currently have 24 properties in the elevation category with a total budget of about 2.7. We are still accepting applications through March 31st. This is due on that date. We are seeking an action from the board for the Wayne County staff to submit a letter of interest to the North Carolina Emergency Manager for grant consideration.
Are there any questions? All right, do we have a motion to move on it, or?
So moved.
So moved. And that is move to authorize Wayne County staff to submit a letter of interest to the North Carolina Emergency Management for grant consideration March 31, 2007.
Yes, sir.
All right, we got a motion on the floor. Any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. All right, we spent a great deal of time on the consent agenda. Unless there's any additional discussion, we'll ask for a motion to.
Mr. Chairman, I move to accept consent agenda items 1 through 5.
Thank you. We have a motion on the floor. Any more discussion? All those in favor, if you raise your right hand. Unanimous. Thank you. So move right on into new business. There should be a motion to adopt a resolution declaring April as Donate Life Month. And you now have someone here for that, Ms. Carroll.
We do. And I've got to give her a copy of something real quick. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Dr. Sandra Coley, and I'm here representing the citizens of Wayne County who have benefited from organ transplant. And with me this morning is Pastor Harold Warren, who's not only a recipient, but a pastor here in Wayne County. We also very proud to have with us Denise Love, who's with Donate Life North Carolina, and Dwayne Cooper, who's with Carolina Donor Service, serving the eastern part of our state, which consists of 29 counties. As you all know, organ and tissue donation is very, very, very important. One of the reasons is because of chronic kidney disease. Everyone in this room, I'm sure, have been touched by kidney transplant, lung transplant, heart transplant. And if I may, if I'm not stepping out of order, how many of you know someone on dialysis, have diabetes, have high blood pressures? Most of us do, and this is what it leads to. At this time, I'm going to ask Pastor Harold Warren if he would read the proposed proclamation.
Whereas, according to the United Network of Organ Sharing, more than 121,000 people are waiting for organ transplants nationally, and 3,000 of those people are in North Carolina. And whereas, an average of 21 people awaiting transplants die each day because there is a severe shortage of organ donors. And whereas, every 10 minutes, another name is added to the National Transplant Waiting List, and the list is growing faster than the rate of organ donations. And whereas, providing facts and dispelling myths are key to making an informed decision about becoming a donor and increasing the number of people who sign up as donors. And whereas the North Carolina Division of Motor Vehicles plays a critical role with 4.8 million North Carolinians in the state's donor registry, having registered when they received their North Carolina driver's license, making it the 6th largest registry in the country. And whereas one organ donor can save the lives of up to 8 people and improve more than 50 lives through tissue, blood, bone, and bone marrow and cornea donations. And whereas North Carolinians are encouraged to get the facts about donation and discuss their wishes with their families and physicians. Sign up as donors via the North Carolina Division of Motor Vehicles by putting a heart on their driver's license or enrolling online at the DonateLifeNorthCarolina.org. And whereas Vita Medical Center's Transplant Center is a leader in providing life-saving transplants with patients cared for by a team of experts, including surgeons, nurse coordinators, social workers, infectious disease specialists, nutritionists, immunologists, and pathologists. And whereas North Carolina Donor Services is the federal designated organ procurement organization with an office located in Durham, serving 7.2 million people in 77 counties of North Carolina and Danville, Virginia, and serving over 100 hospitals and 4 transplant centers that perform heart, lung, liver, kidney, pancreas, and intestinal transplants to maximize the passing of the heroic gift of life from one human being to another, and through organ tissue donations. And whereas the County of Wayne joins healthcare professionals, volunteers, educators, government agencies, faith-based and community groups, and private organizations in an effort to boost the numbers of organ, tissue, blood, bone marrow, cornea, and stem cell donors throughout North Carolina.
Okay. Everything is moving.
The next line is now be it resolved. Do I have that authority to read that line?
Sure.
Now therefore, be it resolved, the Wayne County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim April 2017 as Donate Life Month and Wayne County, and commends this observance to our citizens, adopted the 21st day of March 2017, William H. Pate, Chairman, Wayne County Board of Commissioners, and it will be attested by our Secretary, Kara Bowden.
Is there a motion to approve the resolution as read? So moved. We have a motion on the floor. Any additional discussion? I just want to thank you for bringing this to us, because I'm an organ donor, because what am I going to do with it when I'm gone? So, let's let somebody save someone else's life. Anyway, we have a motion on the floor, and so those in favor of accepting the resolution, please raise your right hand. Thank you.
Thank you again so much, and we do have gifts for you, and at the appropriate time, if we can do a quick photo op, and that's because April 29th, Saturday, April 29th, at First African Baptist Church, I will be doing my first, hopefully, annual transplant Donate Life celebration. And we have other donors, transplant, and those in the transplant community who will be visiting with us on that Saturday. And I would love to see at least one or two of my commissioners there. Organ transplant is colorblind, and all of us benefit from organ and tissue transplant. So I'm hoping to see all of you there on Saturday, April 29th at 11 o'clock at First African Baptist Church on Harris Street. Thank you for your time.
Okay. Number 2, amnesty days at landfill. Tim, you gonna speak to that?
Good morning.
Good morning.
What the Solid Waste Department's asking is for the board to approve the motion declaring that May 6th and October 7th will be our 2 amnesty days this year. Amnesty Day is something we started in 2004, and the reason we did it, a lot of your neighborhoods have stuff in the yards that the neighbors would complain about, hey, it's an eyesore or whatever. But, you know, as in the county, we don't have an ordinance where we can go over there and say, hey, you need to get that up. So we decided, hey, let's give them a day during the year that they can bring it to us at no charge. And the first year we did it, I mean, I think they were backed up almost to the end of Landfill Road. I mean, it was a huge success. We had a lot of people that decided to get the yards cleaned up that day, and we still have calls all during the year, hey, when's that day? So you've got stuff that we would normally charge for, and they won't bring it. So that's kind of why we decided to do it. It was such a success, though, it was so busy getting everybody in and out, so we decided in 2008 we would have 2 a year. And that's kind of alleviated the pressure a little bit on that Saturday. But I think it's a good program for us. It helps get some of this stuff out of the county, some of the eyesores out of the yards and the communities. And so that's the reason we've done it. Like I said, I think it's been a big success, and people have really took advantage of it, which is a good thing. So like I said, we're asking for y'all to approve that motion this year so we can do that again.
All right, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
All right, any discussion? Thanks. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Before I move on, did you need that photo op today? Okay, guys, could you come down in front real quick? I got to think about that after.
Can we take your picture?
We're going to look at Denise in the, we're going to first, and then we'll look at Dwayne. So Denise. All right, 1, 2, 3. And now Dwayne. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes.
All righty then. That's done, that's done. And I believe the next thing is a presentation by Judy Harrison. I registered these.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see all of you. I want to discuss e-recording with you this morning. And my assistant Yolanda Rose passing out some additional information. I know you received some, and I know you're all familiar with it by now, hopefully. I won't keep you long, because I know you're all busy and have things to do. E-recording speeds the recording of documents such as deeds and deeds of trust, assignments, and all other real estate documents that come into our office from across town or across the nation. The total recording process is done electronically, which saves the county time and money. If there's an error in these documents, it could take days to weeks to correct them if they're from California or New York. With the e-recording, we can correct this in minutes and get them online. This is very important to the people who are buying property and waiting for money to come in, because they have to wait for that process to be completed and for that recording to be done before they can actually get their money. Also, the payments are done electronically each night, and they automatically go into the bank from the companies that actually service the people who produce these documents. And we get a report on our daily report that we print out each day as to how much money went in there, which is really good and fast for us as well in our recording process. And also, I think it would aid finance as well. And a large majority of the counties in North Carolina are now e-recording, and I hear nothing but praise from them. There's a map that's attached to your packet that shows how many counties are recording in North Carolina, and there is a little diagram there that tells you the ones that are thinking about it and the ones that aren't going to do anything. They're white. We are e-recording satisfactions, and I have noted that in your information, in your memo. We have been e-recording satisfactions for several years, and that works very well. Of course, there's no money involved in that, but it does work well. It is a great process as far as getting the information online right away. And I can't think of any downside to e-recording. One of the most important upsides to me for e-recording is free to Wayne County, and it's free to our office. And I think it's a step in the right direction heading into the future for Wayne County. And I hope y'all agree with that. Do y'all have any questions that I can answer about?
I'm just surprised it's taken so long to get to this point. I really am. I mean, look at that map. I mean,
Lois had talked with them before she left, and we have been so short-handed during this period of time that I've been there. We've been replacing employees, and so I've been talking with them continuously during that time that it's taken this long to get a full staff and to get in line to get it. I'm very, very excited about it.
this is not something that's just brand new. It's been going on for some time now.
Oh, for several years. If you look into your legislative section of the information I passed out, I think that the laws were actually beginning to be passed in 2000, so we're very far behind as far as getting on board with the e-recording.
It should really lessen your work in the long run, I would think.
Yes, as far as what we do in our office, you're talking about somebody, as I said, from California, New York, recording within start to finish 10 minutes. Which
Which-
now takes us, if there's something wrong with the document, it might take us 2 weeks to get that correction done for real. I mean, that is actual time that it takes us. And during that period of time, that document has to go back to the recorder for the correction to be done. Well, we're still having to work with that document for that period of time, explaining to them what they need to do to comply with North Carolina laws. So this is time consuming for us, and we are maxed out as far as our staff goes. I mean, we have this, all we can handle without it. So this would help us tremendously in our office.
Any questions, comments?
I was just going to make a comment. You recommended also that you're going to go with all the companies, and that way there's no
Yes.
additional cost if you bring them on.
Yes, our provider for real estate is COT, and COT, in my opinion, is the best vendor for real estate. They have most of the counties in North Carolina. They're set up to do this, and they have a contract with COT. And that contract states that if we take all the companies that you have on your list there at one time, that there's no charge to us because it is in the contract. And they will train us for free because it is included in Resolution 3, which we've only had for 3 years or so. And before that, we were on an old system that we started showing in the state of North Carolina when Debbie Lane was registered deeds. And we were the last county in the state of North Carolina to go on Resolution 3, which I think is a shame. But that's in days past, and we can look to the future and do something positive, I believe, with this.
Mr. Chairman.
Can I ask why we decided to kind of hold off and we were one of the last ones to do this, or?
Well, as far as the resolution, we had to get Resolution 3 before we could go on this process, because you have to be set up to do this recording. And we were not set up because we didn't go on Resolution 3. And that was in the last administration, and I don't know that reasoning, so I can't give you that reasoning. But I can tell you that the reason that we haven't done it before with me is because we have been short-staffed, and I have been getting people in place. I've been maxed out too.
But we're up and running and.
We're good.
everything.
We're good to go.
We're good.
Today, if I call COT today, they will call those companies that are involved. And probably by the end of this week, COT and those companies will be ready. We have to be trained. Everybody in the office has to be trained, and there's 8 of us. And COT will train us online, and there is no fee for that, and they can do that in one day. They can have us trained and ready to go. So we're looking at possibly, if you approve, we're probably looking at sometime in April going on e-recording, which I think is great.
Do we need to take some
That's
action?
what I was just getting ready.
Yeah, Pete, I think the board has approved our drawing on.
You gonna make that motion?
And with all the companies that she's listed.
Mr. Chairman, I so move.
All right, we have a motion on the floor. Is there any more discussion? All those in favor, if you please raise your right hand. Thank you, Judy.
Thank you very much. I can't begin to tell you how much I appreciate that, and I'm glad to be in this century. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. He just wasn't highlighting it yellow. I don't know what he was supposed to do there. Okay. All right, let's get down to number 4, which is the motion to authorize the county manager and the finance director to take the necessary steps to pursue a negotiated sale limited obligation bonds in the amount of $42,368,473.
Mr. Chairman, you've heard the presentation from Ted Cole with Davenport and Company, our financial advisors. I think we've provided you with all the information necessary. Our plan is to make this decision today so that we can move forward with the sale of our bonds in mid-June and a closing before June 30th on those bonds. We gave you a list of what they're for, went over that with you. So with that, and he also explained why he felt negotiated versus competitive sale was the best avenue for doing this. So with that, I would recommend that you do this and we move forward. At our next meeting, if you're in agreement with this, at our next meeting, we're going to ask you to call a public hearing for the following meeting. And then in that second April meeting, we'll have a public hearing where we go over all the details on the bonds and anyone can speak to that. That's a requirement in the law. And once we do that, then we'll go through the process. And we already have preliminary LGC approval, as he said. This is a division of the State Treasurer's Office. We met with them last week in Raleigh, and they're very comfortable with what we're proposing on this.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I make a motion that we authorize the county manager and the finance director to take the necessary steps to pursue a negotiated sale of limited obligation bonds in the amount of $42,368,473.
Council, there were a couple of companies that were involved in that. Does that need to be part of the motion?
Yes.
Yes.
And I can't remember. who they
R.W.
were.
Baird, we'd like them to be the senior partner, and PNC would be the co-manager on it.
You add that to your motion?
We add that to my motion.
I thought I remembered that would be there.
And Carol, instead of senior manager, partner should be senior manager and co-manager.
Now, we did discuss that at great length in the 8 o'clock session. Anybody else got any additional discussion they want to add? All right, all those in favor, if you raise your right hand. It's unanimous. Thank you. Okay, Chip, we got a couple of subdivision plats that we need to discuss with us.
Yes, sir. The first one is Gander Lake Phase 2 final. Gander Lake Development LLC is the owner developer. Surveyor is Jimmy Barber Surveying. This plat is in the Buck Swamp Township on Pikeville Princeton Road, which is SR 1002. Consists of lots 31 through 42, which is 12 lots, and one recreation area lot, the extension of Artesa Drive, and one new cul-de-sac named Mondavie Court. Subdivision is located off of Pikeville Princeton Road, 9/10 of a mile west of its intersection with Gurley Dairy. It is not zoned. The average lot size is 22,444 square feet. These lots will utilize public water and on-site septic. There's 0.18 miles of new street. It is within the rural enclave area on the Wayne County Growth Strategy map. These improvements are completed and an NCDOT Built to Standards letter has been submitted to the county. Until the streets are accepted onto the state's secondary road system, the developer has signed a statement on the plat regarding the maintenance of the streets and the right-of-ways. Stormwater from this section of the subdivision will be directed through an existing permanent pond that's in place already in Phase 1. This is within the CB Aycock, Norwayne Middle, Northwest Primary School Districts. It's serviced by Northwest Wayne Sanitary. It's within the Little River Fire Department, and it's serviced by EMS Station 2. It is within the Eastern Carolina Council RPO for Transportation Planning. It is within the Wayne County Water Supply Watershed area. There are no voluntary ag districts present, no wetlands, and it is in Board of Commissioners District 1. This went before the Wayne County Planning Board at its prior meeting, and they recommend that the plat be approved.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Make a motion to approve the Gander Lake Phase 2 final.
We have a motion on the floor, it's been approved. Any comments or questions? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. It's unanimous.
Okay, the next one is the Gander Lake Phase 3. This is same owner developer, same surveyor, Jimmy Barber Surveying. It's lots 43 through 69, so it's 27 residential lots, and it has one permanently protected open space lot, which contains a stormwater detention pond, a permanent device. It is the extension of Corbell Drive and one new cul-de-sac named Perrier Drive. The subdivision is located 7/10 of a mile on the first entrance of Gander Lake off of Pikeville, Princeton. And it's 7/10 of a mile west of its intersection with Gurley Dairy. It's not zoned. The average lot size in this section is just shy of 21,000 square feet. They will utilize public water and on-site septic. There is 0.35 miles of new street. It is within the rural enclave area on the Wayne County Growth Strategy Map. The improvements have been completed and a NCDOT built to standards letter has been submitted to the county. The developer has signed a statement on the plat regarding the ongoing maintenance of the right-of-ways and the open space areas until turned over. Stormwater from this section will be directed through a permanent pond which is located on the protected open space area between lots 51 and 52. This is within Charles B. Aycock High School, North Wayne Middle, Northwest Primary School Districts. It is within the Northwest Wayne Sanitary District, serviced by the Little River Fire Department and EMS Station 2. It is within ECC RPO for transportation planning. It is within the Wayne County water supply watershed area. It complies with that ordinance. It is within the there are no voluntary ag districts present, no wetlands, and then Board of Commissioners District 1. This plat went before the Wayne County Planning Board at its prior meeting and was recommended to be approved as submitted.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Make a motion to approve the Gander Lake Phase 3 final.
We have a motion on the floor to approve. Is there any discussion?
I have a question.
Sure.
Mr. Chairman. I'd like to ask Chip, on the stormwater runoff, the planning board determines that.
The engineer designs the subdivision to hold the 1-inch 24-hour storm event, which is what the state requires on site for 3 to 5 days, and it's a drawdown on that.
Yeah, I just wanted to caution that over the last year or so, I've gotten a lot of calls, quite a few, as a matter of fact, from new subdivisions and in some cases existing subdivisions that the stormwater runoff is affecting other areas outside of where the subdivision is, like subdivisions that are down the road or somebody else's property. And that I'd just like to caution that maybe we need to take a look at the whole area to see what's affected. In some cases, in one case, one subdivision, because of stoppage of ditches or whatever, is actually flooding, and it's been taken care of, by the way, but it's actually flooding other properties. So might want to just caution, take a look at that in future subdivision.
That is considered, I mean, when we look at the design and when the engineers look at that design, they have to design, to handle the runoff.
And I appreciate that, but the biggest problem I have as a commissioner, when somebody has a legitimate case, it seems like it's a hard process to get something done about it. So if we can look at it up front and try to be a little bit more diligent, maybe we can hopefully cut down on some of the complaints from other property owners. So it may not be because of what we're looking at here. It could be that ditches are stopped up or whatever. It's just I'm just making an observation.
Right. Yeah, there's lots of other things in play when you're talking about runoff.
Yeah.
Anything else? Just an observation. Sure seems like that part of the county continues to grow and grow.
Yeah.
All right, we have a motion on the floor. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. That's approved. Thank you. Thank you. Number 7, to approve a resolution supporting the Wayne County Development Alliance.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and Board of Commissioners. I'm Crystal Geddes, President of the Wayne County Development Alliance. As part of WCDA's efforts in recruiting new industry to Wayne County, we must market the assets that we have in our community and the communities that surround us. Aerospace and aviation is a natural sector that we focus on just because of the assets that we have in Wayne County, as well as Lenoir and Craven counties. I have been to try to devise a plan that we can collaborate and market our assets together. And in doing so, we've come up with a list of opportunities that we might be able to market to the aerospace industry. Of those are our transportation network and our accessibility to Wayne County. the Global Trans Park in Lenoir County, which is also serves as our federal trade zone that encompasses Wayne County. And in Craven County, we have Cherry Point. So we have our military installations, and we also have a nice cluster already started of aerospace companies within the 3 counties. We feel like our efforts pulled together in a collaborative effort to market a certain area of our 3 counties would work to our benefit in growing that cluster of aerospace and recruiting companies that provide additional tax base for us and good paying jobs in that field. We are in the attempts of trying to designate sections of Highway 70 from Wayne County through Craven County as a North Carolina aerospace corridor. We have gotten support from the Highway 70 Coalition that has provided a letter of recommendation and resolution to the North Carolina DOT for that designation. We're also in the process of establishing a memorandum of understanding between the 3 counties and or our economic development organizations on how we're going to market that, how we're going to handle the leads that come in and any expenses. We're in the process of developing a 1-page website that will identify the assets that we have in the 3 counties, but also direct them to our individual websites of our counties. So I have taken this before the Board of Directors of the Wayne County Development Alliance, and they are in full support of WCDA going into this memorandum of understanding with the other 2 counties and economic development organizations. And they also I'm coming to you today as a recommendation on behalf of the Board of Directors to help support us, not only Wayne County and WCDA, but the other 2 counties that I have just prior mentioned to you in our efforts to market and support. And again, this only helps us recruit better industries, focus on a sectorial focus that we already have a presence here in Wayne County, and grow that and have a better designation as an aerospace corridor. You have a resolution in front of you as well as a map indicating our 3 counties. The dots that you see on the map are the companies that we already have throughout that corridor, and we feel like we can just build on that even further. Any questions?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I make a motion that we adopt a resolution to support marketing of U.S. Highway 70 as an aerospace corridor.
We have a motion on the floor. Is any discussion?
Just a comment.
Okay.
This is a long time coming, and it needs to be done because of the military presence in eastern North Carolina. And I commend you for bringing this together, Crystal. And Wayne County can be a very huge part of the puzzle in eastern North Carolina development. But over the last year or so, I've also been involved with the Global Trans Park, and I've seen the finances and everything of the Global Trans Park get better, more self-supporting, and along with Wayne County, the Global Trans Park, and this is just my synopsis, we have a diamond in the rough there at the Global Trans Park that can set the stage for aerospace development in eastern North Carolina, and I'm including Wayne County as part of that. Thank you, President.
Thank you.
Mr. Aycock.
I just want to make a comment, Crystal. We had a Highway 7 board meeting last Thursday. This was discussed at length, and this is great. Everyone that I talked to from Craven County, Lenoir County, we're on board, and it's, we can work together as a group, in central eastern North Carolina, and get a whole lot more done working as a group than we can a standalone county. So the other counties are excited about this as we are. So thank you for your work, and also the planning people in other counties, the other 2 counties. But I think this is great for eastern North Carolina. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Well, I support it because it ties in not only with our community card system and our advanced manufacturing center that will be up before we know it. And we just got to get ready. This is another step in the right direction to bring jobs to Wayne County so we can keep our people here. We have a motion on the floor, I believe. All those in favor, if you'll please raise your right hand. Thank you, Krista.
Thank you.
All right. Motion to approve resolution to adopt the 12th amendment to the position classification plan.
Good morning again.
Good morning.
These are the most recent changes to the job classification and pay plan. Most of them, as you'll see in your packet, in the resolution are related to the IT department. And that's very much typical of IT. As technology evolves, the job descriptions evolve, therefore the job titles will also evolve with that. And I'm glad to see that our director is staying on top of it and keeping up with the changes as they come about. But inevitably, as I send it out to all the directors, I always get back corrections or changes that need to be made from other directors and other departments. They are not many, they're very few, but we're trying to get them as accurate as possible. Any questions on any of these?
I think one thing we did want to stress is none of this affects the pay.
None affects the pay. This is all related to either a change in the job grade or the change in the job title, but it does not affect the pay. These are simply trying to make them accurate so that they line up with the payroll system. Our department works closely together with the finance department, and we find that as we go through all of our positions, because we do have over 1,000 employees, both full-time and part-time, each position is tied to a position title and a position number, which is tied to a grade and a job title. So we're trying to make sure that they're as accurate as possible. And hopefully by the time I retire for the third time, it may be 100%. I make no guarantee.
I do have a question. Is this the 12th amendment or is it the 10th on the?
I do believe it is the 12th, is that correct?
I think it's the
12th.
Yeah, I just want to be sure.
Okay, it is the 12th.
So whoever makes the motion is the 12th amendment.
We just need to change the title.
No, okay.
Ms. Lee, I would like to share a compliment to you and Mr. Wood. Someone who I don't think their job title doesn't show up on you, and he said it wasn't about race anyway, but I had someone say to me the other day, I don't remember how the conversation got started, they sure didn't want to see you and Mr. Wood leave the government because they were talking about the fact that you worked on pay increases and getting the schedule right. And I just thought it was a good compliment to pass along to you all because employees do appreciate that bump in salary that they got over the last couple of years. And it's been said to me more than one time. And they think it's fair and they appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. It is a work in progress, and that's a team process between HR and finance.
And I will tell you, Geraldine is outstanding as an HR director.
I agree with that.
All of
Any other questions on the job classification plan?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve resolution number 2017-8, adopting the 12th amendment to the position classification pay plan for Wayne County, North Carolina.
We have a motion on the floor. Is there any more discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you, Geraldine.
Thank you.
All right, let's get into the number 9, the corporate hangar side jet board.
Yes, you have a letter from George Wolf, who's the chairman of the Wayne Executive Jetport Advisory Committee. They voted on March 2nd and are recommending to you that you select layout plan number 2 so that we can move forward with this project. We had 4 options, discussed those at length, and we believe this is the best option to go with.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Make a motion to approve the option 2 corporate hangar site plan for the Wayne Executive Jetport as recommended by the Wayne Executive Jetport Advisory Committee.
We have a motion on the floor to approve the plan. Is there any more discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. It's unanimous. Thank you. Let's talk about the construction schedule.
Okay. We all know we're in a hurry to get these hangars built and occupied. The project that we're working on, we currently have a grant. This is the way the state structures it. We have a grant to do the engineering, and that was part of what you just decided on, was that option. So they will move forward with that. It's a little frustrating because we have to go through all of this design, then we have to apply for a grant to do the construction. The construction project is to do the attachments to the taxiway, which ultimately goes to the runway, and then you have 4 sites that we will be preparing so that ideally what we would like to do is that 3 of those sites we would have ground leases where individuals or companies would come in, build their own hangar. They would be on our ground lease, and after so many years, it's in the lease that, and it's usually after it's pretty much depreciated out, then the hangar becomes the property of the county. So we would like to do 3 of them that way. That's the cheapest option for the county. Just as importantly, it's the one that we can move forward with the quickest because we have some demand for additional hangars now. And as y'all know, when we did the UNC healthcare hangar, leased that to them, which brought medevac helicopter and ground units in, that took up our last corporate hangar. So we're in a rush to get some more corporate hangars out there, and we do have a growing demand. The 4th site we would like to reserve and have the county build a hangar. That's down the road. First, we got to get these sites finished up. But we want to have one owned by the county because if we get another opportunity like UNC Healthcare, we want to make sure we're in a position to move forward with that quickly. So we feel like we need one that the county totally controls. So with that, if you turn to page 60, I'm not going to read every line item here, but I do want to go through this. We updated the Airport Advisory Board on this. This is a schedule that I had W.K. Dixon, our consulting engineers, prepare because I think we had some folks, even on our advisory board, who were thinking 3 or 4 months we can have this project done. And that's just not realistic with how you have to go through the Division of Aviation, which is using FAA, Federal Aviation Administration money. So I won't go into every detail with you, but this project started November 1. We're on schedule, but unfortunately it just takes a lot of time to get there. We're down to about item number 18, which is the notice to proceed for the county. So now we have done some other things down below that up to the meeting with the county on step 24. But by and large, we're in that range right now. Again, it takes a while to get through everything. And what I wanted to stress to you is if you look at page 61, the completion of this where the site is actually ready for hangars is June 26th of next year. So we've got 15 more months on this, which is frustrating to the board, it's frustrating to the staff, but I wanted you all to understand this because we wanted you to see every step in the way and why we can't do it any faster than this. This is the department's process. And again, normally you would get a grant, it would be for the design and construction. We have to do it in 2 parts. I don't know why they do it that way, but they do it that way. The good news is it's a 90-10 project, so they're bringing 90% of the money to the table. But it's extremely frustrating to have to work through this process. And even if you were paying 100%, the FAA and Division of Aviation, the state of North Carolina, have to approve it anyway. So you'd be going through this process regardless. But anyway, I just wanted to give you this update so that y'all understood, just like the advisory board, that this is where we're at. We're moving it. We're W.K. Dixon staying on top of it, but it is what it is. So we've got 2 members of the advisory board. Do y'all want to make any comments on that?
Mr. Chairman,
I guess out of all the committees that I sat on, this is probably the most frustrating as far as dealing with the timeline. We're looking at clients that are waiting for hangar space. And what I'm afraid of is that, and we were doing a good job so far of appeasing these clients, and they're working with us. We don't want to lose a grand opportunity. But the timeline here, when the advisory board sat down and Mr. Gurley, Commissioner Gurley, it was just unbelievable what you have to go through. So I understand from the private sector, and I'm from the private sector, I don't have very much patience when it comes to this, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Do we need action on this?
There's no action necessary. I simply wanted to update y'all so that we were all on the same sheet of music that this is how long it's going to take.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if I may make a comment, just to put things in perspective. We're talking about building a concrete pad. Is that correct? Or taxiway and.
Yeah, you've got to design.
But all
it.
we're doing is building a concrete pad. We're not talking about building the buildings, we're just talking
No,
about
that's right.
getting the site work done.
That's correct.
And we're talking about that will take approximately 18 months, which is about the same time for us to go over here and build the MRAC.
Yes,
Is that correct?
that's correct.
Yeah.
Sound like a few, but too many bureaucrats involved with that transaction. Thank you very much.
Now, let's move on into number 11, and we talked about that pretty much a great deal. This is any more discussion about it.
Yeah, we went over it earlier. Does anybody have any questions? Those are primarily properties we foreclosed on. Some we own jointly, some we own outright, but we do need to go ahead and try
approve the resolution.
to, y'all have talked about the properties we own. If we don't need them, we need to get them sold, and that's what we're trying to do here.
Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
Mr. Chairman, I'm very excited to make a motion to approve resolution 2017-9 declaring surplus real property and authorizing its sale.
There's a motion on the floor to approve. Is there any additional discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. And before we move to your comments, someone remind me that I have full manners, and I have not recognized our new assistant county manager, Greg Honeycutt. You come say a couple words, Greg? Introduce yourself. We've met you, but these folks out here don't know you.
Excuse me. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Board, and it truly is an honor and privilege to be here, and I appreciate the opportunity that George has given me, and just excited to be here. As George, excuse me, as George said, the last week and a day has been like drinking water from a fire hydrant. So it's been a real busy, but it's been a good busy, and I think there's a lot that is to be said for this board of the projects that you're doing and the commitment that you have to making sure that things are getting done for the citizens of Wayne County. So again, I thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
Glad to have you. Mr. Wood.
Well, that was going to be one of my comments.
Oh, well.
That's okay.
So they wrote me a note.
No problem, no problem. But I just want to echo, we're delighted to have Craig join our staff, and I will tell you, he has hit the ground running. We've probably inundated him with information, but also he's already taken charge of several projects, so he's fit right in, and of course, with his extensive background, he's able to hit the ground running very quickly. So, Craig, welcome.
Thank you.
The other thing, of course, we're working on the budget. That's the main thing. We're heavily into that now. We have already met with the school board. We've made a estimation of where our revenues will be that we can share with them. And we had a meeting this past week, Allison and I did, with the finance director. Dr. Dunsmore had to be out of town in Washington, but we met our commitment to have that to them about mid-March. And of course, just a reminder, we'll have lunch with them today, and they're going to update you on some of the projects they've been working on, particularly all the technology projects. Because as you know, we made a pretty big financial commitment last year to give them $750,000 to jumpstart this. And I think you're going to be pleased with what Dr. Dunsmore and Dr. Lewis report to you on that. We have had a number of meetings. Crystal and I went to a meeting yesterday in Raleigh looking at some information on how we might be able to help finance the Shell building. So that is a project that WCDA is working on. We are also looking at a project on industrial park properties and things like that. So we have a lot going on in addition to the budget, but we're also bringing to closure a number of things that this board has asked us to look at. So I think with that, that's pretty much my comments.
Thank you. Next will be commissioner comments, and just keep in mind, we've got to go up to the school, and we also need no closed session, don't we? So I'll start with you, Mr. Mayor. In other words, y'all keep it short.
I wanted to say that on the DSS board, along with the county, is last week is doing interviews for our DSS director, and we're real encouraged as to the pool of applicants that we have been able to contact. And actually, the second day that Mr. Honeycutt was here, he was thrown into a DSS interview. So he has hit the ground running. I don't know if you got an orientation or not. You just hit the ground running, right?
Yes, sir.
It's,
I showed him his office.
you showed him his office. So, but we are encouraged from the DSS board and we're excited on picking a new director for DSS. So having said that, Mr. Wood, since Mr. Honeycutt's come on board, you don't have to have in your report that it's been a very busy week anymore, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You can delegate some of that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Barney.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I had an opportunity since we last met to attend a health department committee meeting, I guess that's what we call it. And I found it very interesting, but as part of that conversation with them, they did express a need, I guess, that the building is getting a little old, and they sound like that they would be able to provide a lot more services with a new environment that could encompass new and modern, the latest technology and all that. So I said to them I would come back and share their concern.
If I could comment on that, the Facilities Committee has asked us to do an evaluation of whether we should renovate or build a new health department, and we can't do that without architectural assistance. So they asked us to prepare an RFQ on that. We have done that. We got 7 responses back, and we will be meeting Thursday. I have a committee set up on Thursday to narrow that down to the top 3, and then we're going to bring those people in for interviews and come back to you with a recommendation, I would hope very shortly thereafter, to where we employ one of those firms, because we really can't go any further on that until we know which way we need to go. And we need an experienced architect who understands health departments but also renovation projects to give us that information. So that's kind of where we're at, David.
All right.
And David is aware of that. He's going to be on the committee.
Great.
That will help select the architect.
Well, we'll share that with the entire group at the next meeting with some caution and reservation. It ain't gonna happen tomorrow, but it's on the way.
Yeah, I made it clear to Dave, and I said, this is not the architect to design the building. This is just to make an evaluation of which way we should go.
And also, I attended the library committee meeting. And Mr. Wood, I know that you probably I was told you've been made aware of this, or at least Kendall has, that they think they need some more camera observation down there.
Right.
She just asked me also that I pass that along. I was invited to a meeting last Saturday. And I just want to pass this along to all of our public, especially our public officials. This involves the Hispanic community and their working conditions and quite frankly, I think a little bit how they're treated. And some of what I heard them say, and you look at the color of my hair, and I've been in the world a while, some of the things that I felt back in the 50s and 60s. So I just would want to pass that along as a general comment that we must be concerned not with the greatest of us that we come in contact, but what sometimes is perceived as the lesser of us, and there's no such thing. That's why I say perceive. But perceptions are first cousin to reality, especially from the person who may feel like they're not being received fairly. That's it.
No comments.
Two meetings in a row, I'm proud. Mr. Bell.
That's unusual. That's 2 weeks in a row that Joe said no comments. I can't believe it.
He's saving that?
He wants to. I only had one short meeting with wages this past Thursday. We didn't do anything other than just solidify the committee assignments and had lunch, and that was about it. So I don't have anything to report today.
What'd you have for lunch?
Had pork.
Ms. Greco.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I had the pleasure on the 9th to go to the installation of Dr. Walker at Community College. Had a great turnout. He made a fantastic speech, and I want to thank the other commissioners that was there. Mr. Wood, I think you were there. I just want to thank y'all for being there to support him, because all I'm hearing is good about him. Also, on the 16th, I attended a ribbon cutting at Kitty Askins. As many of y'all know, they flooded out during Hurricane Matthew. They had a ribbon cutting to officially say that they were back in business. I did not realize the damage that they had. I just assumed that the lower portion is all flooded. I was wrong. The whole building flooded. They had right at $1 million worth of damage in that facility. But they're back up and running now, because that facility, if any of you have never been touched by them, at some point in your life you probably will be. But that's one of the best kept secrets in eastern North Carolina is the Kitty Asking, because they do a fantastic job when families are in need of help. Also on Thursday had a couple of Highway 70 meetings, one in LaGrange and one in Smithfield. Basically went over what Crystal said and for that. And Carol, the thing I gave you this morning, we're gonna do that now, or?
That's fine. I think it's a good time.
Okay. As all of y'all know, back in the early stages of the new bypass being constructed, we had a DOT worker, Mr. Ray Bailey, lost his life working on that road. Thanks to all of y'all, we were very successful in getting part of that road named after Mr. Bailey. We had some stumbling blocks to get over. DOT had regulations that we didn't feel like was sufficient or exactly like it should be, but we overcame that,
And the section of, the road named after Mr. Bailey was, September 6, 2016. And again, we had asked for some kind of little something to show y'all's appreciation for helping with this. And so, Trevor Sidney gave me this morning. I just wanted to present this to y'all and some work wherever Mr. Wood or Carol, whoever sees fit. But, again, thank y'all for your support, because without y'all's support on this, this probably would not have happened. And we're working on another section now, and, Carol will bring you up to date on the other section, as time goes by. Thank y'all again for this.
I think deserves a round of applause, don't you? Thanks for working so hard on it, Wayne. Do you have anything else, Wayne?
Oh, no, that's it. Thank you.
Mr. Kirby?
I think everything we covered pretty well, no comments.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Could I ask, I forgot to say something.
Go ahead.
Mr. Wood, I noticed in one of your reports, I think last week, you had met with the engineering firm for the North Creek and Canterbury Village road repairs.
Yes.
Do you have anything you can share with us on that, or is it just sort of an update?
We'll be going out for bids in April.
In April?
April.
Okay.
And so, once we get those, I'll bring them into you, we'll award, and we'll be ready to go.
Okay, thank you.
But, so, the idea is we want to be in the heat of the summer when we get this project going.
Okay, thank you for that.
I really didn't have any comments today either, but we will need to go back into closed session. Is that correct, counsel?
Yes, sir, for the same matters you went in earlier today.
Okay. Is there a motion on the floor to go in?
So moved.
Motion on the floor to go in closed session. All in favor?